Good night. Have one done tonight. God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Ermin J. Scripture Divine. I'm here to give you a word on tonight. And the topic going to be the future of glory of Zion. A barren woman who never had any kids and she felt ashamed because she never had no kids. And everyone used to tease her in the neighborhood and just look at her strange, because everybody had kids and she didn't have no kids. So this story, a barren woman, a wife who could not give her husband children. Now she was ashamed, and God promised that she will be filled. There will be filled with riches and powerful and resources, and God fulfilled this prophecy because at the end she will be rich. Her house will, her house will enlarge. Now, this story gonna come from Isaiah 54, 1 through 17. Now here, this is a barren woman who never bore children, but she had a husband. But now God is speaking to this woman. Now God telling her, you will not be ashamed no more. He said, I'm about to enlarge the place of your tent. Now God saying, your place will enlarge. You know, so God have compassion on this woman. This woman been through so much for so many years with her husband and just couldn't give her husband no kids. And she with everyone in the neighborhood with them with children, and she don't have no kids. So stretch your tent. Now God telling her to stretch your tent, your curtain wide, stretch it real wide, because He about to enlarge your territory. Do not hold back. You know, do not hold back. Strengthen your sake. So now God is telling her your place will be enlarged. So He's saying stretch your tent, curtain wide, meaning think big. You know, see, God always wants you to think big. So He telling her, I'm about to enlarge your territory. He said, don't hold nothing back. He want her to think big. And do not hold back. So God said you will spread out to the right and to the left. And now this will be a large place that it will be spread out so wide, to the left and right. Now this gonna be a large place. Now He's saying from it gonna be so wide to the left and to the right. Now when God about to enlarge everything for this woman who was in shame, who was with pain and suffering for so many years. So remember, she don't have no children, but God said your children will depose the nation, and they will settle in a dissolution city. Meaning she will have children. Now, so God said your children will dispose. So that means she gonna have kids. Cause remember, she a barren woman don't have no kids. So God about to open her womb for her to have some kids. So God also told her, do not be afraid. You will not suffer shame again. So God telling her, see, God already know her pain and suffering. So God telling her, you're not gonna be in shame no more. You ain't gonna be suffering with shame no more. So He telling her, don't be afraid. Cause God about to build this woman back up. He about to build her back up. All the pain and suffering she done went through. So now God telling her, no matter what's going on, she will not suffer shame. She said, do not feel disgrace. See, God got compassion on this woman. He telling her, you will not feel ashamed no more. He telling her, don't be afraid. He telling her, don't feel disgrace, because you will not be humiliated. You know, and you will. And then God also told her, all the pain and suffering and the shame that she went through, God said you will not feel the shame of your youth. And remember, no more the reproach of your widowhood. Her widowhood. So for your maker is your husband, and the Lord Almighty is His name. The Holy One of Israel is your Redeemer. He is called the God of all the earth. So He telling her, you will not remember your shame no more. because she was just in so much pain and suffering. He said, "You will not remember your shame no more." You know, and he said for your maker, God said He will be your husband. Because see, her husband left her because she couldn't give him no kids. So God said, "I'm gonna be your husband, the Lord, the Almighty. The Holy One of Israel." So we see that we see that she have no children and feel ashamed. But God will give this woman here a large place, and she will have children. And we see that God said that she will never remember her shame again. God will call her to lift her up, and she'll never have to go through that anymore. So God told her, you will not be ashamed no more. He told her, don't be afraid. Don't fear. He said, you will not remember your shame again. I'm about to put you in a large place. And he telling her, don't he telling her, don't think, no, don't hold nothing back. He telling her, think big. Think big, because your place gonna be so big, from the left and to the right. Her place about to be so big. He about to enlarge her territory. So God will call her to lift from her. Uh, God about to lift her from her shame. God about to lift her from her shame. I mean, this woman here about to be rich. This woman here about to forget about her shame. I know it sounds like I'm talking to myself, but God will call her to be like that. She never went through nothing like that before, you know. And a wife who she married young, only to be rejected. You remember, she got rejected from her husband, and he left. Because she could not have no children. He wanted children. She could not give him no children. And he waited for a long time. He rejected her. Instead of him helping and praying to God for her to have children, he just rejected her and just ain't had no sympathy for her at all. So God said, for a brief moment, He abandoned her, but with deep compassion, I will bring you back. Now God will do that. He will have compassion on you, but at the same time, He get quiet on you and feel like He abandoned you. But He'll always come back. He'll show up. And when He show up for her. He enlarged her territory. She rich, got children, everything else. So now God have compassion on this woman. God said, I will bring you back. You mean God about to lift her back up. She been Jimmy dragging around, being ashamed. She always around people, they got kids, and she ain't got no kids. So God said, I'm about to bring you back. I'm about to bring you back. I'm about to lift you up. I'm about to enlarge your territory. I'm about to give you some children. Don't worry. Don't be afraid. All these things is about to happen to you. So in the days of Noah, I swear that the water of Noah will never again cover the earth. See, when he had Noah to build that ark, he wanted to destroy the earth with water. So he told Noah that he would not destroy the earth with water no more. So now he making us swear to her. He said, I swear I will never be angry with you again. Be removed, but yet unfold in love, but you will not be shaken. So he's saying she will not be shaken. He will not be angry with her no more. So the Lord, who had compassion on her, afflicted the city enlarged by the storm and not comfort. Now the city rejected her too. They ain't had no compassion on her. They had her feeling ashamed, because she ain't had no kids. But we see the Lord afflict that city, lashed by the storm and not comfort them. So now God is about to enlarge her foundation. He about to enlarge her territory. Now God said, she will be built, that He will build her up with stones, a turquoise, So God about to build this woman up. This woman was in shame for so many years. She couldn't have no children. Her husband reject her. The community was trying to help her. Motivate her. She just felt ashamed all these years. Instead of her husband comforting her and helping her, he just moaning and groaning because he wanted children. So now God said He will build her up with stones and turquoise. This is her foundation He talking about. So her foundation was sapphire. Now He will make her battlement of rubies, her gates with sparkling jewelry. Now what kind? I mean, this gonna be a beautiful gate. Now the gate gonna be sparkling with jewelry. So in all her walls are precious stone. The wall gonna be with precious stone. So all her sons will be taught by the Lord. Now this woman is blessed. She is blessed in all kind of ways. And great. And great will be her children. Now her children gonna be great. And they're gonna have peace. Her children gonna be great and they're gonna have peace. So now remember God said He was gonna enlarge her territory. He doing just that. Enlarging her territory. Now we see that God is building this woman up like He said. He said, I'm coming back for you. I'm coming back and I'm gonna bring you up, build you up. I'm gonna enlarge your territory. We see that this lady gates gonna be with precious stone. We see that her wall gonna be sparkling. So we see this woman here. Seem like her house gonna be looking like what Solomon had built for God back then. Solomon built that beautiful temple because the wall gonna be precious, the gate gonna be sparkling. I mean, this gonna be a beautiful house. And it gonna be huge because He said the wideness from the left and to the right gonna be extra big. Now she had children, but now God will teach her sons that they will be great and they will have peace. So this is amazing. This is amazing. For years, this woman ain't having no kids. Now all of a sudden, this woman about to have kids, and they're about to be great, and they will have peace. So God said, now God is telling her, so God is building this woman up. Now He's still motivating. Now see, our mighty God is a good motivator. He helping this woman, He motivating this woman, He building this woman up. So God said in righteousness you will be established. So He established this woman here. He built her foundation up. He gave her children. Now He about to establish her. He said in righteousness you will be established. Treasure will be far from her. You will have nothing to fear. Terror will be far removed from her. So God got compassion on this woman. God done built this woman up, making her. She got a beautiful, big old home. Now He telling her you're gonna be established. He's saying trouble gonna be far away from you. Terror will be removed from you. So he building her foundation and telling her that you don't got to worry about nothing. You don't have to fear. And if anyone does attack you, it will not be his doing. He said, but whoever attack you will surrender to you. So God said whoever attack her will not be His doing, but whoever attack her will have to surrender to her. So it will not come near you. He said terror will be far from you. It will be removed from you, and it will not come near you. Because He telling her, I'm building you up, I'm establishing you, and He motivating this woman here. He know once He's established her, she is straight, He gone. So he trying to build her up with confidence. Telling her, don't be afraid. Don't have no fear. Trouble gonna be removed from you. And see, it is I who created the blacksmith. God said, it is I who created the blacksmith. Who fans the goals into the flame. Who formed a weapon that fit for its work. You see? And it is I who created the destroyer. You know, God created the stone. Because God gonna get his glory out of the stone. So God created the stone. He said, I who have created the destroyer. You know, he created because God know he gonna save this woman. Anybody he have compassion on, he create the stone. He gonna have the stone to come after you, but God gonna protect you and get the glory. You know, he gonna take care of your enemies and get the glory. You know, so he also telling her. Now you know God got glory over this woman's life. This woman couldn't have no kids. This woman was ashamed. You know, people looking down on her because she ain't had no kids. You know, they don't say in the Bible what she was living at. But God up low, excuse me. But God enlarged her territory. This woman gonna be rich. You know, the walls gonna be having with sparklings all on the wall. The gates gonna be precious with jewelry and all this. This woman gonna be living it up. And he also said, I'm gonna establish you. You know, trouble will not come near you. It will be removed. You know, so he telling her, now he telling her, God still motivating this woman. Now he telling her, no weapon formed against you will prevail. And you will refute every tongue that accuse you. And this is the inheritance of the servant of the Lord. And this is your validation from me, declare the Lord. Now he's telling her, now you know the devil gonna always form. Now he's telling her no weapon formed. It gonna form. But he said no weapon formed against you will prosper. You know, because he know she gonna have enemies coming against her because God enlarged her territory. They're gonna be seeing how her gates gonna be with precious jewelry and how her wall gonna be sparkling. You know, so she gonna have enemies. You know, jealous of her. So God is preparing this woman. God is kind of giving this woman confidence. You know, telling her don't fear. You know, don't be afraid because no weapon that is formed against you shall prosper. The devil will form, but it will not prosper. You know, because she had all kind of stuff came at her. That's why she kept regard. Had said she was suffering, had so much suffering, pain and suffering. You know, so he telling her, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. You know, and we have to remember, you know, all the attacks, all the everything that come against you, it will fall, but that don't mean it will prosper. You know, so one, we see that this woman had no children. You know, she was ashamed because she ain't had no kids. You know, two, but God stepped in and got the glory over this woman's life. You know, because he had compassion on this woman and he saw the pain and suffering that this woman was going through. You know, it sounds like I'm talking to myself. But three, God said she will not be ashamed no more. Because God said, you will forget all the shame and the suffering that you done went through. You know, God said you will not remember it no more. Now, folks, God said you will have children of a nation and God will teach them. You know, and that's amazing, you know, for our Heavenly Father to say he going to teach your children. You know, she was well, he had well compassion on her. You know, he said, I'm going to teach your children. You know, I'm going to teach you. You know, and five, God had enlarged her foundation. You know, her walls were some precious stones. You know, her gates were sparkling. You know, so that's going to be a beautiful house. Everything going to be sparkling. You know, precious stones. You know, so that's going to be a beautiful house. You know, that he placing her in. And six, he told her in righteousness, you will be established. You know, terror will be far removed from her. Now he established this woman here. Now he telling her, you know, terror gonna be removed from your life. You know, you will be established. You know, so he building her foundation up. He blessing her. So when God bless you, He said you're gonna be established. And terror gonna be far moved away from you. 7. Also he told her, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. It will form, but it will not prosper. Because he must know she gonna have enemies coming against her. So that's why God's telling her, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Every time they come against you will prevail. And anyone that come against you is not his doing. But if they do come against her, they will have to bow down to her. Now 8. The devil will always fall, but will not prosper. You know, the devil will always fall, but it doesn't mean he will prosper. So we see that God got the glory over this woman's life. This woman here was going through so much changes, and suffering. Even her own husband had rejected her. He got so angry because she couldn't have no kids. So we see this woman had it hard for so many years. She couldn't have no children. Her husband rejected her. Her community was looking down on her. And she just went through so much. Pain and suffering to her. But God said, you will not remember your pain and suffering no more. I will enlarge your territory. Don't you hold anything back. He telling her, think big. Think big, because it gonna be so big, it gonna be so wide for the left and the right, gonna be so wide. And he telling her to think big, I'm about to enlarge your territory. You about to have a beautiful house, sparkling and precious stones all in your house. You will be established. You will be established, and terror will not come near you. It will be removed. So we see that God got the glory over this woman's life. Got the glory over this woman. He lifted this woman up that was down and that was ashamed, because she couldn't have no kids. So I hope y'all enjoy this package. And remember, ain't nothing too big for our mighty God. Even if you're down in the pit, even if you're down and out, you're ashamed, or you're going through whatever you're going through. I'm a witness. I still have hope and I have faith. I got hope and I still have faith. Just like God established that woman and rise her up to the top, he can do the same thing to us too. We just got to trust God, believe, have faith, and have hope that he could do the same thing to us. Rise us up, enlarge our territory, encourage us, get us belief, our future, and he encouraged this one, no weapon formed against her will prosper, so I just hope y'all have a blessed night, and remember, nothing too big for God, because God created, you heard what he said here, God created our stone, so he already know, if he create the stone, he know the beginning to the end, he know you coming out, he know I'm coming out. In the name of Jesus. So y'all have a blessed night, and I'll see y'all in the next video.